Welcome to the Boxing Talk Show.
Fair but firm.
With the Hall of Fame boxing referee.
I'm Joe Cortez.
And co-host John Zemel for all of Las Vegas.
Come on, guys. Let's touch them up. 3 fight. I'm Joe Cortez. Fair but firm.
Welcome to the Fair but Firm show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the boxing capital of the world.
Oh, yeah.
Fans, boxing has really been a passion to me. My whole life been boxing. And, of course, I've been retired since 2012, and I still feel like I got a little spark of the old flash.
Yeah, you
so
look
I'm
like
ready to continue with this fight game. Of course, I can't do it with anybody else other than my co-host here, John Zemel. John.
I appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate it. I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
I'm too excited. We've just kind of finished the first quarter mark of the year, and what a year it's been so far. What an insane – I mean, we knew what was promised, and how great has it been. Even more exciting fights than we thought there'd be.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I just felt like already here we are in March, and it's like the end of March, and, well, actually the beginning of March.
Yeah, the middle.
And, and all I can tell you is that like it seemed like it's gone by so fast.
It
man.
did.
You know, it just gone. Months are moving real quick, and it's just a little bit maybe too fast for me because I wasn't expecting this much of boxing. So all these great fights.
Non-stop, man. We've already had as many pay-per-view fights this year as we had all of last year. And it took us to December 1st to get the second one last year. We just got the first. We just got our second one in the second week of March this year.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to the welterweight division. It's really, steaming up, and a lot of people saying now that Manny Pacquiao has defeated Adrian Broner. They thought he was out and finished.
No, his head's back in the ring, baby. He's ready.
The guy still looks as good as he did when he first started out.
And he's as marketable as any other fighter
exactly.
we've ever seen. So
yeah, he reminded me of Roberto Duran to some extent because Roberto Duran, when he won the lightweight championship, he was looking good. Then he beat Ken Buchanan, a technical knockout in Madison Square Garden. Then he comes back and beats Davey Moore to conquer the welterweight. Well, actually, it was Sugar Ray Leonard first up in Montreal.
Yes, sir.
Sugar Ray Leonard was the Olympic champion. He was a rising star, and he defeated Sugar Ray Leonard.
That was such a big fight.
So that was a big upset for Sugar Ray Leonard's career. But his stock stayed up. Then he went out and fought Davey Moore at Madison Square Garden for the 154-pound championship. He hit Roberto Duran already 3-time world champion, 3 different weight classes.
Oh, yeah.
And then back in, I think it was 89, he becomes a middleweight champion of the world.
Defeating Iran Barkley?
Defeating Iran Barkley.
Who was the ref in that fight?
You know who it was, man. And it was an honor for me to be in that fight, refereeing one of the great ones. I thought that a lot of people thought that Roberto Duran was finished. And
he was flying too close to the sun, right?
Yeah.
That's what we thought. Like what happened to Mikey Garcia last weekend. We thought that he reached his limit, and he was going up against the Iran Barkley, who had just taken care of Thomas Hearns, right?
Right.
I mean, so we thought it was kind of, there was no way that Roberto Duran had a chance in that fight.
Right, and he did. He came up with a split decision victory. He put Iran Barkley down in the 11th round. To my surprise, it was like a 4-punch combination. Every punch that he landed, as Iran Barkley was going down, he was pumping, banging. Down goes Iran Barkley. I said, whoa, I saw the count, the 8 count, mandatory 8 count. He got up. He finished the fight, but it was a good victory for Roberto Duran. And I remember Mike Buffer was in the ring. Had a little problem. They had technical difficulties with the audio system, and Mike was upset that he was trying to get the decision out. He couldn't get it out, and he started, you had to give it. And then it was just like unbelievable. You could hardly hear Mike Buffer
screaming,
giving the decision. And Roberto Duran he was worried. You could see in his face when they're announcing it was split. One way it went to Iran Barkley, then it went to Roberto Duran. Then the last scoring of the judge, it went to Duran. So wow. It was a big relief for Durant, but
is that how you would have scored it too?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, good.
Because it was split decision.
It was real close, and I knocked down. Sealed it for him when he knocked down.
It happens all the time. Yeah,
Durant, and he knocked Iran Barkley down in the 11th round. But anyway, but it goes to show that even like we're talking about Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, it goes to show that you can't. There's certain all-time greats you can't count out of any discussion, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who they're fighting. Doesn't matter what. So with Manny Pacquiao coming back, there's all these names been thrown around. People that I wouldn't have. I wouldn't bet on Manny against them, but I wouldn't bet against him either because this is a guy who has proven over and over and over again that he is willing to do and able to do what people have told him over and over again he wasn't. And I'm done questioning what Manny Pacquiao is capable of.
Exactly. Now, some of the fans are saying that who should be next.
Well, he tweeted this. Manny Pacquiao asked, who should he fight next?
Floyd Mayweather, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter.
Let's discuss all these.
Well, I can tell you, Floyd Mayweather will be the big money maker for
Yeah,
him.
I promise that's the one he wants, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. But Floyd Mayweather is 42 years of age now. He's been inactive since he beat.
He's the oldest. He'd make the most
the
money.
Japanese fighter a couple of months back.
Takeshi, yeah.
He made an easy $10 million for
Yeah.
hitting a non-boxer again.
Yeah, 105 pounder.
And
or
then
something.
when he fought before that, when he fought
Conor McGregor?
Conor
When he fought
McGregor.
the kickboxer or whatever?
yeah, he got another $200 million when he fought
Yes, he
McGregor.
did.
He got $10 million. He took a big dip in fighting his other kid, but his other kid was really,
Yeah, but it wasn't.
it was a one-round knockout.
Yeah, he didn't have to put on the promotion.
He knew he could take this guy out quicker. He
Conor McGregor fight was the second most buys in boxing history,
Yeah,
or in pay-per-view history of any
Pay-per-view.
event,
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
just amazing.
it is amazing, and I was glad that I was honored again that I was able to train.
Yes,
that.
you were a part of that. Well, let me ask you this then, because Conor McGregor just said he just came out in an interview and said that he trained to fight a defensive Floyd Mayweather, and he said that this Floyd Mayweather, who was fighting with his hands up, marching forward, he said that he wasn't prepared for that. So he said if he were to fight him again and prepare for the offensive. Now, you being in that training camp, do you think in a rematch McGregor has a chance?
Well, McGregor, I think what he showed me with the last fight he had with Khabib,
Yeah.
I mean, he got his ass beat pretty bad that day, and I think that it's not going to be a good thing for him to try to come back.
Yeah, no. He has a
and-
better chance against Khabib than he does Mayweather. again.
He keep on shadow boxing, look himself in the mirror. I think his own shadow can beat him now.
Yeah, I watched a bus beat him.
So that, I mean, it's really something that happens in boxing, but it's a business these days. So Floyd Mayweather probably be the guy that Mayweather that
Pacquiao
Manny
wants?
Pacquiao wants. But then you got Keith Thurman, who didn't
Of
look
course.
that, he didn't look that impressive.
He looked vulnerable against Josecito Lopez.
Yeah, but then again, he's been inactive for like close to over 2 years. Or
Exactly.
close to that.
But he also he's a belt holder. I mean,
He's
so it's,
a-
you're talking about a
come on,
title fight.
And that's one of the things that gets me a little bit upset. The guys have been inactive for like 2 years. He's
Still able to
he's
hold their
still able
belt?
to hold the belt. Well, the sanctioning body will say no.
Yeah, WBC got rid of him. WBA hang on to him. You think that's okay? Or you think
Well-
WBA should
well,
have said,
you know,
no, you're gone too?
But again, like I said before, it's a business. And
Mm-hmm.
these guys, sanctioning body say, if we get rid of him, he's a marketable
And
guy.
he is. And
he's going to fight for our belt, and we're going to make money with him. So, let's keep him on board.
it's the same reason why the WBA regular belt allowed Canelo to have the 168 regular and the 160 belt.
Yeah, well, what happens? Yeah, right. But what happens is that if you get rid of a fighter because he was injured, and not that he was doing drugs or something, it was something
yeah.
like it can happen to. It was an accident. It was not that he was doing something intentionally wrong. That's a big no-no in boxing. It was.
He earned that belt.
Yeah,
right?
he earned it, and so I can see the WBA say, you know what, we're gonna
Until
make
you
it.
get defeated,
We're
or-
gonna make an exception. It's not like you're running. It's not that you're doing drugs and everything.
Yeah, you just
And
hurt.
He got hurt one time. He got hurt the second time. So this is what happens, and the fighters got to say, WBA say, you know what, we're gonna give him a chance. He's one of our best champions ever. So I want to just make sure that he keeps going.
You're absolutely right.
And then you got Danny Garcia.
Danny Garcia, who doesn't have a belt, but is a name. He's a dangerous fighter, but he doesn't quite have the same the same commercial appeal as the other two have because the other ones have a belt.
I think Danny Garcia would be one of the better fighters on paper for Pacquiao.
He's a top 5 welterweight. No one's taking anything away from him.
And of course, then I just keep Pacquiao a little bit sharper. Then from there, he said, you know what? Now I can take on either Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, or Floyd Mayweather. I think Floyd Mayweather is waiting to have that fight with Pacquiao. He knows it's a big money fight.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, before I pack it in, I'm going to try to please the fans and please my financial people. And
He could do it one more time.
And please my bank account.
If Manny
And
gets
put
a belt
much
again.
money I can in there, yeah.
Manny gets a belt again and then fights Floyd again. I mean, Manny's almost deserved. I mean, what would be better for Floyd this time? Because if Manny wins a belt, then he can demand more percentage, right? From Floyd Mayweather, because he'd be the WBO champion or the WBC champion if he beats Sean Porter or one of them.
Well, so I think Sean Porter, talking about Sean Porter, he's probably licking his chops too because he says, I'm the welterweight champion of the world right now, WBC, the most prestigious sanctioning body that's out there.
Agreed.
And they say Sean Porter is somebody to reckon with. He did fight the other day against
Yordenis Ugas.
Ugas, and Ugas kind of, in a lot of eyes of the fans, they thought that Ugas beat Sean Porter. Sean Porter didn't give it his 100% that night. But anyway, we're going to continue with this welterweight division with Manny Pacquiao. We're going to go into a brief commercial. We'll be right back. Welcome again to the Faber Firm Show here with Joe Cortez and my co-host John Zemel, talking about boxing, the sport that I love so much. It's just I can't get it out of my system. As much as sometimes I want to kind of retire, go to the Bahamas, sit down underneath a coconut tree, have some margaritas, just relax. I can't do that. I got too much. I can't let any grass go under my feet. I want to keep on going.
Yeah.
I still got that burning desire, that burning in my belly.
Yeah.
I want to keep
You're
going.
like Manny Pacquiao. You just want to keep it going.
I want to keep it going. So
Speaking of which, let me ask you then. So let's answer Manny Pacquiao's question. Because he's asking the fans, and so we're the voice of the fans right now. Who should he fight next? Who would you click on that poll right there? Floyd Mayweather, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, or Sean Porter? Who would get your vote?
Honestly, I would go with a great performance that he did against Adrian Broner a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I think that was like a 2-0 fight.
Mm-hmm.
I said he's ready. Go for Floyd Mayweather.
I agree with you.
Go for the big bucks because you're not going to be around much longer.
Plus, I'd rather watch
If he fights any of the other guys, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, or Sean Porter, he gets beat by one of those guys.
Probably, yeah.
They go to Mayweather fight.
Yeah,
So
it's not like getting beat by Errol Spence.
So you want to be it's a business, but you want to make big money at the age that he's at now, 40. Come on, man, go for the big shots.
Go to that big money. Yeah, I agree, and I think that's the one he wants more than any of them too.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's just like us in life. We're getting down towards the end of it. I want to go out with a bang. And so does Manny Pacquiao. He wants to go out with a big bang.
Yeah, he does.
And make sure that he gets...
he feels like that's the biggest blemish on his resume. I mean, he's lost other times before in his younger years, but he's more than accomplished enough for that.
Oh, yeah.
But he was, not only the second biggest earner in his area, the second biggest fighter in his era, the second biggest... He was always number 2 to Floyd Mayweather, right?
Yeah.
And then he lost to him. And he doesn't feel like he lost.
Right.
And, he was injured and a million other things. And so, of course, he feels that way. Why wouldn't you feel that way if you feel like someone else has been the second best at your weight class your whole life and you're an all-time great, one of the 10 best to ever do it?
Exactly.
I mean, of course you'd want to avenge that loss.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, but, talking about boxing and fighters coming back and being around a bit longer, something came up. One of our fans was asking a question about, and I saw it online.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew Ward. He's been retired for now a little over a year.
Yes.
He's surprisingly retired.
On top.
Yeah, with 33 straight wins, and he fought Kevilov.
Yeah, he beat Sergey Kovalev, who was the number 1 pound for pound
He
at the
beat
time.
him twice, and then he said, I'm packing in, and he retired.
Nothing more to prove.
But now people are saying, Canelo Alvarez, he's a hot name. He's out there. He went from 147 to 154 to 160 to 168.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's doing really good. How about going up a little bit more to 175 and try to lure in?
He's talked about fighting Kovalev at 175, so why not fight Andre Ward? That's a bigger fight for everybody.
That'd be a great fight, and that'll draw a
Canelo
lot of
money might be big enough to get Ward out of retirement.
They'll offer Ward $50 million. He'll say, I'm coming back.
He'll get a 3-fight deal or something.
He said, I'm coming 50. He could probably make $50 million with just fighting Canelo.
No, for
It'll
sure.
be a big pay-per-view event.
Well, Canelo doesn't do pay-per-view anymore. He's on DAZN. So it'd be that. But they still give him that big money. I mean, look what they just gave Danny Jacobs. Look what they're giving Triple G. I mean, they still give him that money.
I mean, if they bring in Andrew Ward to fight Canelo, which would be a big risk, I mean, for Canelo to under the 11-fight deal that he has with DAZN, it's going to be a good one for him, but it'd be good for the fans.
It'd be great for everybody.
Everybody.
It'd be great for DAZN, that's for sure.
And it'd be great for Andrew Ward coming back, making a big paycheck on that.
What if he got it, too? What if he won? If he came back, how would your opinion on Andre Ward change if he came back and beat Canelo Alvarez?
What happens to that big deal that he got with Canelo has with
DAZN, yeah.
With DAZN, he has a good career going in boxing right now. Canelo does.
What if he loses to Jacobs? I know it's a hard sell,
possible.
but he could.
He could. I mean, Danny Jacobs.
He's no Rocky Fielding.
A lot of fans felt that Danny Jacobs beat
Triple G.
And that fight is a very questionable decision. So that means that
a lot of fans felt Triple G beat Canelo.
And you just see the difference in height and in the punching power. Danny
Jacobs is a tall
middleweight. The Miracle Man Jacobs. He was a fighter who he knocked out cancer out of his system.
He sure did.
He came back and became middleweight champion of the world. So here he is. A lot of fans are probably saying, "Wow, this guy's got really a heart of a champion, and he has a desire to beat the best out there."
Absolutely.
He doesn't like that one defeat that tarnishes his undefeated career record. But now he's talking about it. People are saying, "Well, could that fight happen?" We leave that up to you, fans. You guys decide what you want to do. We'll try to lure Andrew Ward in. He's a great commentator. On TV, he does a lot for us as a ringside commentator. He's an expert, but I think people still want to see Andrew Ward. I know I like to see what he still has left in boxing because
absolutely
he left us like, what? It was a jaw dropper when he heard that he was retiring from boxing.
Yeah.
But who knows why that happened? He has his personal reasons. Sometimes fighters they know better than anybody else. Sometimes some fighters don't want to admit it. But when you feel that you're losing something, your reflexes, or you're getting hit with punches, And sometimes you can't take the punch you normally used to take when you were younger. Man, that's when it's time for you to say, you know what? I
Pack it in.
I think I'm going to pack it in before. Let me go out while I'm on top.
Some fighters have that, like they have that. Like Mayweather always had that. He was always looking for a way out. Remember, he had his first retirement before he came back after he beat De La Hoya and and then he came back and fought Canelo and a few other people. Then he retired again. Then he came back to fight Pacquiao. And then he always was trying to find a way out. But other guys like Pacquiao never want their way out. They want to stick around forever. They never want to stop fighting.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I could tell you that those fighters that have retired, and I would say 8 out of 10 of them have come back.
Oh yeah,
and
look at Marcos Maidana.
Yeah,
he's coming back right now.
Yeah, but Michael Maidana is kind of like on the light heavyweight side
he's
right now.
On the other. No, he's not on the light anything side.
He was 147, and from what I heard lately, and I saw a picture of him.
Yeah, I saw it
He
too.
looked like a super heavyweight.
Yeah, he did look like a super heavy. Yeah.
Anyway,
well, he says he's coming back to fight at 147 again. That's what he wants.
I don't know. I don't know what he got. He got to cut one of his legs off. Or
He
something.
got a pretty big deal. I was surprised, like $1 million deal, for a multi-fight deal. But yeah, you're right. I don't know how he's gonna do it.
I'm coming back. Man.
Come back, Joe.
I hate these guys. I gotta come back. You know.
You think you fight Maidana? You can see him.
147.
147.
I know, maybe not heavyweight.
You guys can have a catch weight. What's the rehydration clause?
I'm still at 175, so I'm okay there.
Yeah,
so.
you're good.
But
you should see Canelo then when he comes up.
Canelo, he's got a little tougher. He may punch you a little
You
too
can take
hard.
Andre Ward.
I don't want to take Andrew Ward, who's been inactive for 2 years.
Yeah. You guys have both taken some time off,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it'd be fair.
Yeah, but fair but firm.
Fair but firm. An excellent point, Joe.
I gotta be firm.
Yeah.
And I gotta
You'll
be
get there.
firm with my punches too. Maybe I take that fair route.
You can do it.
I'll be firm but firm.
Firm but firm.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But
I love
anyway-
that. That would be a good fight, man. I would watch that absolutely.
For my fight?
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. I don't just. I mean, I'm talking Canelo versus Andre.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, well, they'd be fighting for the chance to compete against you, probably.
Yeah.
But no, it'd be a ton of fun, man. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that boxing is really it's a lot of fun. You know, I kind of like to put a little humor to it. When we have nothing happening, I try to make it into a little fight in the studios here myself.
Yeah.
I create my own fight in my memory.
And not just his own fight. I want to be clear. Sometimes he'll fight against me. He was working my body last week. I got bruises on my ribs when he was trying to show me what Mikey was going to do to Errol. He'd hurt me more than Mikey hurt Errol. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, fans, I'm glad you guys are tuning in and listening to us online and on social media. We're going to do a brief commercial, and we'll be right back. And welcome to the Fair but Firm Show here with Joe Cortez and my co-host John Zemel. Once again, talking about the boxing game. I mean, the sport that I love so much. And
yes, sir.
You fans out there listening, because obviously you are big fight fans as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to keep you up to date with what's the latest going on. And we have about another 10 minutes or so to go before we wrap it up. So I want to just talk a little bit, John, about the dream fights.
Oh, yeah.
The remainder part of the year, which I see, the heavyweight division started out real strong when Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder.
Seemed like we were finally going to get a push towards unification.
Yeah, so now what's going to happen in the heavyweight division? We got Deontay Wilder there, who's fighting somebody else.
Somebody you never heard of, and neither have I.
And so the kind of heavyweight division, I mean, Anthony Joshua was the fighter everybody's talking about, even though I still say he got to prove himself once he beats somebody like Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen to this. I mean, when he signed on to fight Jarrell Miller, we thought that was the biggest, that was going to be such a bummer that Fury and Wilder were going to fight each other again, and he was going to look like a bum for fighting Miller. Now, Miller's the most competitive fight out of the three of them. You've got Wilder fighting Dominic Breazeale, who's a fight nobody wants to see, and Fury's fighting a guy no one's ever heard of here at the Thomas and Mack. I mean, I don't even know what exactly we're building towards. All of them are getting paid, which seems like good news. I understand a little bit of why Wilder wouldn't take the $100 million DAZN deal, which featured 2 fights with Anthony Joshua. He said that he wanted to have more control over it if he beats him, wanted to have more, there was a ceiling on the rematch clause, essentially. But at the same time, that was the best chance we had of getting true unification. And that's out the window, and looks like there's no end in sight to this. I mean, a lot of other divisions, it seem like they're finally starting to open up. They're finally starting to happen. But the heavyweight division feels stalled. Am I being pessimistic, Joe, or is that really how it seems?
No, that's the way it is right now. It seems to be a little on the low side with the heavyweight division. But I'm sure that these guys have probably said to themselves, okay, you know what? I'm sure they already got to figure out who's going to be the next opponent. They're probably bumping these guys off, these unknown fighters, heavyweights, But then eventually, that's like a 2-0 fight for them. They want to each have a 2-0 fight.
You think we still got some hope in 2019?
I think so. Maybe by around September.
Okay.
I think you'll see something big happen in the heavyweight.
That sounds
division.
fair.
You can't go out this year without having a good heavyweight fight. So will it be Tyson Fury fighting Luis Ortiz? Would it be,
That'd be a good fight.
Ortiz fighting Anthony Joshua?
I'd watch Ortiz fight anybody.
Or the
yeah.
rematch with Deontay Wilder and Ortiz, you know? I mean, those are the fights that are out
Yes.
there. So I think that the heavyweight division still has
Hey,
a lot.
Usyk just threw his hat in the ring. He's going to be fighting Carlos Takam, who fought Anthony Joshua a few months. That'll be his first fight at heavyweight.
Yeah.
You think he has a chance to make some noise, shake it up a little bit?
He got to show me what he can actually do in the real
Agreed.
fight.
No, agreed.
You know, I can't say
Like, yeah, he cleaned out the cruiserweight division, but now he's a heavyweight, and that's a different world.
A different world. You're like Mikey Garcia trying to go up to welterweight.
Exactly like that. Speaking of which, Bob Arum, who very famously has had his falling out with Mikey Garcia. We're not telling any tales out of school here. He used to promote him, and then he didn't. He has been, their relationship has been the biggest stumbling block to a potential Lomachenko versus Mikey Garcia fight. Now, Bob Arum says that now that Mikey Garcia got beat, that there's no interest in that fight, that no one wants to see that anymore. Is that true, or is that just a promoter being a promoter?
Well, I think Bob Arum has been a great promoter for so many years.
Of course.
So he's a good businessman, so he knows what he's doing. It may have some truth to the fact, but who knows? But I can tell you one thing is that the fighters today are definitely trying to continue to make as much money as they can, because they know that there's a small window when it comes to boxing. You're a real good 10, 12, 13 years for most.
Maybe, yeah.
And some fighters, it's like in football. You know, some of these great football players have 10 good years after that.
You're very lucky if you have 10 good years of football.
And some of them
yes,
hang
sir.
on. Some of them just hang on because of their popularity. People
Some of them,
know
they don't really know what, they don't really have an exit strategy like Manny Pacquiao. They don't really know what they want on the other side. So
and then when the career is over, they say, oh my God. That's why I say invest your money. And there's a lot of things that go on in boxing. Talking about things that go on in boxing, here in the boxing capital of the world, we have Liberal Archie, which has nothing to do with boxing, but he was a big fan of boxing back in the days.
Las Vegas icon.
Yeah, with Muhammad Ali and Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley was one of, he always come into the ring with Muhammad Ali, and Liberal Archie one time played as a role as a professional for one night, a timekeeper for a Hulk Hogan wrestling match.
Is that true?
So,
That's interesting.
Yeah. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I have a friend, Jonathan Warren, who's the CEO or CEO and chairman of the Liberal Archie Museum Foundation. So if you want to get a tour, they have tours of the Liberal Archie Museum here in Las Vegas at the Trilla Villa Mansion. And you want to go online, you can check it out. I told him I'm going to say this on the air today.
That was nice.
You have the liberalarchiemuseum.com. You go online, you can book your tours and go check out this facility where you see all these Liberal Archie artifacts that are out there. And I think it's so important that you guys, when you come into Las Vegas, or if you are a Vegas resident, go to liberalarchiemuseum.com and do your booking. Anyways, but going back to the real world of boxing, there's so much happening. I want to see what's your dream fight for this year?
You want to hear the truth? It's Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford, and I think we can get it. I really do. I think if the only way we can get it is if we can prove what a draw they both are. Errol Spence just sold a bunch of tickets and a bunch of pay-per-views. If Terrence Crawford could do the exact same thing with Amir Khan, show that they have and then either one of them can clear out one side of the street and make this a unification fight, a true welterweight unification fight. I think we can get this fight. Maybe not this year, but early next year. I really do.
Well, he's from Nebraska. That's where my good friend Warren Buffett is from. And every time you see the fights there in Nebraska,
Warren Buffett's always there. Yeah.
Warren Buffett is there at ringside. If they can't make the money to pay-per-view, they can look over to
maybe Warren Buffett will give him some money.
Warren Buffett will kick in maybe $500 million.
That'd be nice.
And they can split it up. It won't be no dent in Warren Buffett's pocket.
They wouldn't even feel it. Yeah.
So anyway, but guys, again, talking about boxing, I love it. I know you guys love it as well. Keep your guards up at all time. Protect yourselves at all time. And John, one other thing that we got to tell our fans is that they have to be more passionate about boxing and maybe writing some to these promoters out there. Tell them we want to see more fights here in Las Vegas, even the small fights. We want to see these small fighters, small clubs like in Sam's Town, the Orleans Hotel,
plenty of space,
the D Hotel downtown. Get these fights going on there. Keep your guards up at all time. Protect yourselves at all time, and get after the promoters and tell them we want more boxing in Las Vegas. Touch them up.
fair but firm.
with the Hall of Fame boxing referee
I'm Joe Cortez.
for all of Las Vegas.
Come on, guys, let's touch them up. 3 fight. I'm Joe Cortez, fair but firm.